Awesome. Hey, everybody. It's Elizabeth and Catherine. It's time for the Two Sisters Weekly Talk, where we share all the good news that's happening with Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. And believe me, the month of February 2019 is full of lots of really good news, and we're so excited to share it with you because our success is an example to you to make your book dreams come true as well, or any writing that you're doing. So we want to start with the fact that we have a new book released by Master Sergeant Cedric King, who we've been talking about for a long time. We wrote his book. He's a retired Army Ranger who lost his legs after stepping on a bomb in Afghanistan. He was in Walter Reed Military Hospital for 3 years. He looked up when he first lost his legs. He was in bed with no legs, watching TV in the hospital. He saw someone running in the Olympics on blades, prosthetic legs. It was a double amputee running on blades. He said,
in the Olympics, not the Special Olympics.
No, the
Olympic Pistorius.
Running against able-bodied or full-legged people. So Cedric has asked his doctor, he said, "Doc, can I do that?" And the doctor was not hopeful as well. But Cedric's spirit said, "In 1 year, I am going to be running 10 miles. Within 21 months of that moment, Cedric ran the Boston Marathon on blades. And now he's a triathlete. Now he's a motivational speaker. And now he's an author. And this is his book. And guess what? It's now the #1 Amazon release on the military books list this week. And so
it's #1 and #2. So the paperback is #1 and the hardcover is #2.
Woohoo!
Amazon hot release. Just came out last Monday.
That's amazing, okay? Amazing. So on so many levels, but here's an extra special thing that happened this week. So Cedric met lots of people when he was in the hospital because many dignitaries, business leaders, and others visit veterans in the hospital. Among them, former President Barack Obama. So Cedric and his family went to the White House several times. Montel Williams, and the former CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz, who's now running for president. So this is not a political statement, I'm just saying. He's a titan in corporate America, and he was extremely impressed with Cedric King. He wrote the foreword for Cedric's book. Then Howard Schultz wrote his own book, and guess who's featured in this book multiple times? Cedric. He talks about Cedric King as an example of a warrior having that spirit of survival and perseverance and serving as an example to inspire others. Because, sadly, 22 veterans per day die by their own hand due to addiction, depression, PTSD, and the horrific aftermath of being in war. And so Cedric is a testament to the strength that's possible. And so this is a week full of celebrations that, first of all, he and we finished the book. Secondly, that it's in hardcover, paperback, and ebook, and it's beautiful. It's a bestseller. And Cedric is featured in a book written by a titan of corporate America who's running for president. I mean, that's just all amazing.
So Howard Schultz wrote there are 2 forewords in Cedric's book. The first one is by Howard Schultz and the second is by Gary Sinise. And one line from Howard's foreword is on the cover. It's Master Sergeant Cedric King represents not only the best of America, but the best of humankind. Wow. That's awesome.
One of the most powerful quotes I've ever heard, ever. When I first read that, I cried.
Yeah, it's one of the most moving forewords. Both the forewords in Cedric's book are amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, amazing. Yeah. So tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern, we're going to be here again, live on Facebook, interviewing Master Sergeant Cedric King. So stay tuned for that, or show back up for that. That's at 10 Eastern here on the Two Sisters Writing page on Facebook. We'll be live with a question and answer session with Cedric King.
Yes, he's an awesome, I mean, his charisma is just into the sky. He's amazing. So please join us if you want, and or if you miss it, we'll post it on our Facebook page, Two Sisters Writing and Publishing, where you can catch up on hear all the motivation that he shares. He has a way of turning around the most horrific thought into something to be grateful for. You have to hear how he thinks, because it will change the way you think, and it will change your ability to believe in yourself that anything is possible.
And his book is actually a how-to memoir, because each chapter tells a story, and at the end of each chapter, Cedric gives instructions on how you can take the message that he's just presented and work yourself through situations, difficult situations, so that you can turn what feels like a breaking point. He calls it your making point. So losing his legs in Afghanistan could have been his breaking point. He made it his making point. And this book is amazing because it's not just information, but it's how you can take action and make your life, make your breaking points your making point.
Right. It's awesome. Excellent. So it's available on Amazon.com as well as on Barnes & Noble and where books are sold online all around the world.
Right.
Right.
So the other big thing this week was we launched our Two Sisters Writing Club.
Yes, yes. We've been doing it free for a few weeks on our Facebook page, but essentially now it's a membership club and people are joining. And the other day we had someone in North Africa, someone in Washington, D.C., someone in Nevada, and people in Detroit, all over everywhere. And it's really cool because it seems super simple, but it's not, because it's solving a major problem for people who are trying to write something. And that is setting aside time, committing the time and focusing for 1 hour on your writing. And if you do that 1 hour a week or 3 hours a week, you can get that blog started. You can get that journaling practice started. You can write that book. You can write that screenplay or poem or whatever you're writing. You can actually sit down, focus, and do it. And that's the best feeling.
On Wednesday morning during the writing club, I finished our third Power Journal workbook. So our Power Journal workbooks are they're 28-day challenges, and they all have a different theme. So our first one, which we released at the end of last year, is just the 28-day Power Journal challenge. And the second one that we released on January 1st is a 28-day challenge for weight loss. And Elizabeth, do you want to just briefly talk about what the Power Journal technique is?
Yes. So Power Journal is something that I invented over the course of my lifetime when I combined the power of writing with setting goals. And then I just amplified that whole thing by adding meditation when I learned how to meditate. And it's so powerful to combine the power of meditation and writing to achieve goals and to go within and find your deepest truth and operate from that point about how to create the life for yourself that's most fulfilling, most impactful, most influential, most prosperous, most fun. And so I discovered this magical formula that works for me. It helped me lose 100 pounds and keep it off and maintain a super healthy fitness lifestyle. It helps me maintain my spiritual practice on a daily basis. Like, for example, like in the morning, I did yoga, clear my chakras, meditate. Later, I'll exercise, and I eat a supernatural diet.
Can I ask a question? If people don't know what a chakra is, can they still do Power Journal?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was getting into the spiritual weeds here. It's Power Journal. If you've never meditated, don't be intimidated by that, because I teach, and we have videos online that teach you how to meditate in a very simple manner. We also explain it in the book. It's essentially getting still and silent and going within. It's about shutting out the noise. It's about turning off the devices, all the alerts and the notifications that keep us addicted to distraction all day long. That's horrific for your mental health and your ability to concentrate and create.
So all
So
in the Power Journal challenges, it's 28 days, and every day it just requires a 20-minute commitment to the daily exercise question. And as you work through the 28 days and the 20 minutes a day, you're basically creating your connection with your deepest self to help. For example, the weight loss book it's not saying today you're going to eat celery soup. No, it's about going deep inside to figure out why do you want to lose weight? What's keeping you from losing weight? And as you as over the course of 28 days, you get to the bottom of it. It's not a diet book. It helps you go within and discover the truth.
it's awesome. Yeah. So it's really a technique. It's a method. It's easy. So we're teaching it in a workbook. We have an online community also called powerjournal.life that is sort of a supplement to it. And the workbooks are really easy to use, easy to carry around. There's space for writing on the pages, and it's a really transformative experience for yourself, personal development.
Yeah. So back to the writing club. I finished our Power Journal workbook number 3, Power Journal for Making Big Decisions, on Wednesday. So the writing club, it's not a writing workshop. You don't come and share your writing. What you do is you sign up for it, and then you take your planner and you write you write writing club. So Monday afternoons at 4 Pacific or 7 Eastern is writing club. So I know in my busy day that at 4 o'clock, I'm going to have 1 hour of writing. So if you need to honor your writing, sign up for the club so you can write it in your calendar, and it's an appointment with your writing, and you're not to be disturbed because your writing is important.
I love it. That's awesome. So that's like a side benefit. We established it to help other people, and little did we know we'd have these really productive 3 hours a week to ourselves as well. So are we wrapping up the writing club now?
Yes.
So if you want to join our writing club, you can come to our website, twosisterswriting.com/store, and you can sign up. And if you want to do 1 session per week, it's $22 per month. If you want to do 3 sessions per week, it's $44 per month. In addition, the writing club is just the beginning of us helping writers achieve their dreams and being productive and actually finishing their projects. So we're offering all kinds of writing coaching packages where we can coach you wherever you are in the process. You can just talk with us every other month and just check in so you can maintain your own focus and discipline. Or you can have a super intensive experience with us where we talk multiple times a week if you're on an aggressive schedule to complete your book. So
we also have accountability check-in. So if you're somebody who's motivated by having somebody give you a weekly nudge, we can do that. So it's all on twosisterswriting.com/store.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're really excited to meet you where you are and help you with whatever level of help that you're needing at the time, so you can get it done. Another cool thing we're doing is manuscript evaluations. So a lot of people come to us and they say they wrote their book, but they think they're done. They're just not sure. They need our expert eyes. We've written dozens of books. They need us to look at it and assess what it might be required for them to make the book publishable. And so we're really honored to be able to do that. And we think it's fun because we have like the eagle eye for what's missing and the ability to, well, we're literary chameleons. We can take on the voice of someone else and write from that point. So when we help someone massage their book into the best voice that conveys their message and their style, we're using our gift to help other people share their inspiring stories. And it's so thrilling. It's just inexplicable. I have another inexplicably exciting thing to talk about.
What is it?
My book. So God's Answer is No, KNOW, Lessons from a Spiritual Life, my spiritual memoir that I've been writing for 15 years, is coming out on Easter Sunday. And it's a memoir how-to. And it tells my story, which shows an example of how you can have a spiritual awakening and what to do with it. And then I have a section on teaching you real simply how to do it. So when you talk about chakras earlier, I explained what that is and why you should care about them. And when I was first learning about spiritual things, a lot of stuff I tried to read was way over my head and I couldn't understand it. And therefore, I didn't pursue that particular book or teacher because it was just too way up here and I was here. So thankfully, I was blessed with teachers who met me right here and taught me things that enabled me to get way up here. And now I can be a teacher for you at your level of beginning. So it's not confusing and it's easy to use. Because once you incorporate these things into your daily life, you will feel changes that are profound immediately. And that's my mission in life, to be a teacher of intuitive living, to tap into your soul power so that you live from your spirit. And that empowers you beyond anything your physical or emotional or mental body can do, because it's infinite. And so that's my book. So what I started this week is a daily message inspired by the content of my book. I'm doing daily video messages on YouTube on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing YouTube channel. And there's a playlist called God's Answer is No. So if you're looking for some inspiration on a daily basis, I've got videos. They're just a couple minutes long. And I'm sharing some what I've learned to help you. And you can also order God's Answer is No on our website at twosisterswriting.com/store and get your copy reserved so that when it comes out, you get an autographed copy.
Great.
Yes, it's very exciting. And then another book that kept me up this week with excitement is called The Enemy Within. I wrote it with a bariatric surgeon, Dr. Michael Wood, and we've both been so outraged by the obesity epidemic that we wanted to do something. So we teamed up and we wrote a book proposal for a nonfiction book about his ideas. Bariatric surgeon, that's somebody who performs weight loss surgeries. He's literally on the front lines battling the obesity epidemic. And so he sees firsthand how horrific it is. People who weigh 500 pounds, who have a BMI of 50, and a normal, or more, yeah. Anything over 25 is considered overweight or obese. And so they're morbidly obese, which means if they keep going like that, they're going to die early. And unfortunately, due to the obesity epidemic, this generation of children is projected to live shorter lifespans than their prior generations. And that has not happened in many generations. And it's terrible. It's a terrible testament that we live in this high-tech world with all this access to health information, and people are not going to live as long because they're eating garbage.
So you guys wrote a book proposal for a nonfiction book.
Yes, we shopped it around New York, and editors said, oh, this is too much like a policy book, and the market is saturated with books like that. So Dr. Michael Wood of the Detroit Medical Center, he said, let's write a novel and let's tell a really chilling story that will serve as a wake-up call to people that this is no joke, and that the enemy within America is the addiction to food and fat. And then to make it even scarier, we add, it is a scary story, we add that terrorists who hate our country see our weakness for gluttony and use it against us in a way that kills people. So it's a suspenseful thriller because there's people who know about the evil plot by the terrorists, and they have to get the information to the powers that be. But the terrorists have infiltrated the powers that be in our country, and they are blocking the truth from being told, and more people are dying every day because the food has been compromised.
Wow, that sounds terrifying. It sounds like a Netflix show.
Well, it could be. It is. It is. And we wrote it so that it's a sequel, so that it'll keep going. And so anyway, I printed it out and it's ready for publication. We're just proofreading it right now. And I wrote the press release for it. So when something comes to fruition that was just an idea, and you put all this time into it and energy and vision and creativity, it's like so exhilarating. I stayed up till way late at night. I woke up the next morning, just like hopped up, ready to rock it again. It's so exciting and fulfilling. And that's what we want to share with you, that it's possible. Because 3 years ago, this month, Catherine and I started our company 3 years ago. And we, there's a huge learning curve when you're an entrepreneur. We'd never done this before. I'd been ghostwriting. She'd been working in financial services. And so we really feel like we just hit our stride, like everything we've been learning or things we tried that didn't work out. Now we're like, oh, I get it. This is what we need to do.
Well, and we didn't come to that on our own. We have a business coach, which
yes,
I would recommend to anybody who is an entrepreneur, have a business coach. It's somebody who has the knowledge and expertise to help you. And then also our business coach has a mastermind community of amazing people. So we go to retreats with this community. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's so supportive and valuable and helpful.
Mm-hmm. Her name is Lisa Peterson, and it's the Atlas Collective.
And it's Lisa, Leisa Peterson, and she has a business called wealthclinic.com. I'll put that in the comments. She's awesome.
She is. She also has a podcast.
Yeah, the Art of Abundance podcast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She's a true visionary.
She is. So when you select a business coach, you should go by what your spirit, what your gut, what your heart tells you, because there's a zillion business coaches out there who want to charge you a whole lot of money. And Catherine met Lisa first, and she's like, we have to talk with Lisa. We have a meeting with Lisa. We have a meeting. And I'm like, oh my God, I have 10,000 things I have to do. I don't want to do a meeting right now. She said, no, it's right now. We have to sit down at the computer and we have a video call with her. And I was so stressed out that day. And I sat down at the computer, and then Lisa appeared on the screen. And I swear, I was just so totally calmed. And it was her energy. I'd never met this woman, never seen her before. Her energy came through, and it just calmed me the hell down. And you can't learn when you're in that state of being stressed out and frenzied. You have to learn in a state of Zen, where you just are able to absorb what you're being taught. And so she has that skill, whether it's with us as individuals or with the group. So my message to you in seeking any kind of coach is to let your soul answer the question, is this person right for you?
Wow.
Listen to that. Yeah, that means everything.
Wow. And the best thing about Lisa is that she's the perfect balance between that soft and gentle support that we all want and the badass kick in the butt coach. She's got she's just got it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
she's awesome.
Yeah.
So she's helped us a lot in elevating, escalating, learning, improving, tweaking, changing a lot. So we work really long hours most days, and the investment we're getting a return on the investment on many levels now, thankfully.
Great. So we launched our newsletter. So if anyone's interested in signing up for that, we're going to send it out weekly on Sundays. And we like super short newsletters, and we like big print. So we've created every week what we're going to do in our newsletter, just short and sweet. We've got 3 sections. Section 1 is helping writers. So this week's newsletter features Elizabeth helping Al Allen, who we published his book, We're Standing By, last year. It's a really cool, small book. And it's, Elizabeth, do you want to talk about the way Al wrote his book, how unique it is?
Yeah, so Al is a broadcast journalist with 50 years experience. He was born in Little Rock, Arkansas during segregation. So he's been a pioneer as an African-American person in the journalism field. And he's been very innovative, highly respected, beloved person in the Metro Detroit community because people watched him every morning on TV talking about news and weather and everything that's happening. And so when he wrote his memoir, which is really powerful and chronicles his whole life, he wrote it the way he wanted to write it. He wrote it like broadcast news stories, and it's a short, small book. And people were like, we want more, we want more. And he said, no, this is my book. Maybe I'll do another one with more stories, but I love that this is something that we tell people. Write it your way. You don't have to emulate anybody, copy their style. Do your thing. Let your voice shine. And he's used to letting his voice shine because he talked for a living for 50 years. So, yeah, Al wrote his book his way, and people love it. It's one of our best-selling books still. Mm-hmm. And it's just really, it's like a pop of energy, and it'll make you laugh. It'll make you cry. It'll make you cringe. It'll make you
it'll leave you wanting more. It definitely does leave you wanting more.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really an honor also. So he's super fun to work with. He's a funny man, and but he's deep, profound, impactful.
Yeah. So that's section 1 of our newsletter, is helping writers. And then the second part is about building a community of writers. So that has to do with our writing club. And then the third section is celebrating writers. So every week it's going to just have those 3 parts: helping writers, building a writing community, and celebrating writers. And we're going to start again. Last year we had several writers on our Two Sisters weekly talk. So we're going to start that again. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah, like interview conversations with our writers who have amazing stories to share that they write in their books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we're going to wrap up the Two Sisters weekly talk now.
Awesome. We're so excited that you joined us. And you can follow us on all our social media. You can find us on Facebook, Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. You can find us on Instagram. What's our name there, pal?
Two Sisters Writing.
Big surprise.
And Twitter, it's Two Sisters Writing with the number 2. Facebook, it's Two Sisters Writing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Thanks for joining us, everybody. We'll see you next week for another edition of Two Sisters Weekly Talk.